In 1848, hearing rumours of a revolution in Italy, Garibaldi decided to return home, accompanied by 60 of his men and a number of out-of-date weapons. This was a surprising thing for a Republican to do. Charles Albert must have been surprised too. The king mistrusted the offer and refused to see Garibaldi, sending him instead to the War Minister, who also refused the offer. Nobody, it seemed, trusted or wanted Garibaldi and his red-shirted, devoted followers, the Garibaldini. Garibaldi enlisted instead in the army of the revolutionary government of Milan in Lombardy, but before his men could see much action, the news came that Charles Albert's Piedmontese army had been defeated at Custoza. Most of the legionaries deserted, and the few who remained with Garibaldi took action in only a few minor skirmishes. Later, an Austrian general remarked that the one man who could have helped Piedmont win the 1848 war was the one man that they turned their backs on.
I offered my services to Charles Albert because I believe that only Charles Albert, as King of Piedmont, has the resources to defeat the Austrians and unite Italy.
Garibaldi abandoned the Republican preference he had learned from Mazzini.
I was a Republican, but when I discovered that Charles Albert had made himself champion of Italy, I swore to obey him and faithfully to follow his battle.
Mazzini was hurt as what he saw was betrayal.
Hey, you, good morning. Hey, get out of my face, I don't like you. Okay.
Garibaldi and the legionaries arrived in Rome as the city prepared, in Mazzini's words, to resist. The Pope had appealed to Austria and Spain for help, but it was not from these Catholic monarchies the aid came from, rather from the president of another republic, Louis Napoleon of France. A French army arrived at the gates of Rome, but was driven back. Then, during a temporary truce, French reinforcements arrived. The end came quickly as the defenders, heavily outnumbered, fought bravely but in vain. At the beginning of July, the Roman Republic fell to the soldiers of the French Republic. On the day before, Garibaldi had made a theatrical entry into Rome's assembly with a sword so bent and battered from hand to hand that it would no longer fit into its scabbard. The assembly appointed him dictator of Rome to make any arrangements he saw necessary. Garibaldi appealed to the crowd in Pisa of St. Peter. He collected nearly 5,000 men, almost all the soldiers who had not been killed in the defence of Rome. He then began a forced march towards the Adriatic coast. Garibaldi's wife, Anita, who had accompanied him everywhere during the past 10 years, died on the way, and he was unable to stop for long enough to bury her. Many of the Garibaldini were killed or captured, or deserted to become bandits. Garibaldi himself escaped to Genoa, where he was arrested but later freed on condition that he left Italy at once. His career as a revolutionary soldier hero seemed to be over. The drama played out, the legend finished as he once again set sail across the Atlantic, this time to North America.
I'm going back to Italy! My hair's in it!
There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space.
Woo! Yo, you want my services? Do you want those services?
Without care, yeah.
Boo!
But it wasn't because I didn't know.
Start again! Ready?
Does that make me crazy?
God's sake, Garibaldi! His mouth came off! Why? I've been betrayed. Come at me, ladies. I'm appealing to you. Take that off for a second, tape.
But think twice.
Flick. A bit less of a flick, ready?
Come on now.
off. It looks more
It's an
fun.
S.
think you are.
Swag balding.
No, it's a G.
You really think you're